Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Zach Chatelli. You're back from the video. It's been a while. It's been a while since I talked to you guys. I haven't streamed in like 2 weeks. If you're a follower of the Twitch channel, I post, a video on the channel in like 3 weeks. I don't think I posted one of me actually talking in like 2 months. But this is going to be a bit longer video. Just kind of talking about life updates and how it's been my first year being out of high school, and just kind of a talking video, nothing in particular. But yeah, so basically, I've been out of high school now for April 25th, almost a year now. In like 3 weeks will officially be a year. I graduated, and I think the official graduation date was like May 30th, 2021. And I took the summer off after I graduated and then got a job in like late August. And it was really weird for me at first because I was so used. I just was so used to going to school. Like, I was thinking, it's time for school. Time to wake up at 6:30 in the morning again. Which I wasn't doing that. And it was just kind of weird for quite some time, really. And if some of you probably heard me say I am not a morning person whatsoever. I mean, I'm literally filming this video at 12:17 a.m. So I'm not someone who likes to wake up early in the morning. Definitely not. Most people want to wake up at 6, 7, or 8. I don't understand how someone wants to do that. But yeah, that was weird for me at first. And I worked a job at a thrift store for like 3 months. I think I have said that in the past, but it's been a while. Just kind of recap where I was. And then I left there. Then I didn't have a job for 2 months. Then I went to a restaurant, which I'm at now, which I'm a host / like busser kind of position. And I've been there for 3 months now, which is a lot better than the thrift store, I'll say that. And it's much better pay. But I will say that I think, and I wasn't necessarily myself as much, but a lot of high schoolers and middle schoolers, kids, we have this idea that, we want to, at one point, not all, but we want to grow up and become adults and do this and that, which they think that just because they have a job and they're making money, it's going to be great, which, don't get me wrong, I'm happy where I'm working now. But, I mean, there are things you want to enjoy while you're still in school age. You don't have, I'm only 19, so I'm not like a full-fledged adult, but you don't gotta work. A school is going to be a lot easier going and understandable than jobs are, and it's going to be a lot less strict. Don't get me wrong, I'm in a great workplace right now, but there were definitely things in school I preferred. As much as I hated waking up at 6:30 in the morning, you did see your friends every day, you did socialize. I know this is different for every situation, because I know some kids just have a horrible school life, some have in the middle, some have great. But I overall had it pretty good, especially in high school. Besides, I would say the only thing that really made high school hard for me, just as you've all known, just about all you've heard me say, was the head injury, the concussion I had, which really took me like 2 years to recover from. That just really set me back and just screwed me up so badly in the head. I declined and wasn't that active for quite some time. Mentally, my anxiety went up after my concussion. But overall, outside of that, I had a pretty good high school, 4 years. But I guess just what I want to say, people, is you don't want to grow up too fast. I know there's going to be some of those exceptions, those people that are in rotten households and are trying to get out as soon as they're 18 because they're just in a really bad situation. Which, that's different. There's going to be the situations. Not everyone and not every situation is the same. But for the most part, I would say most people try to enjoy your time in school and as a kid. And I had it when I was younger where I thought I wanted to be an adult quickly so I could have money and do all this stuff, which there are definitely pros to being an adult. I mean, you have more options when it comes, I mean, you're not in, I mean, you can go to school if you want to, say, like college, but you're not forced to go to school and wake up at 6, 7 in the morning. You can choose wherever you want to work, really, dependent. I mean, there still is going to be skills and training needed for certain jobs and degrees needed. You can choose what hours really you want to work. You can, if you want to wake up at 6, 5 in the morning, you can get a job easily with that. If you want to wake up at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, you can do that. Hell, if you want to wake up at 6 or 7 p.m. and go work at 9 or 10, you can do that. So yeah, there's a lot more options, but you're not necessarily going to see your friends, to say. And that is kind of one of the things I do miss about school, and one of the things that I want you guys, but more so for the younger audience, because I know there are some middle school and high school age people that watch my channel, is you don't want to grow up too fast. I was like that when I was younger, not so much in high school, but when I was in like middle school, elementary, I thought I wanted to be an adult. I mean, it's not awful being an adult. It's just, I mean, I'll be honest, there's been days where I've just woken up pretty depressed just because I haven't seen friends in a while. I mean, yeah, I'm bringing home $500-$600 a paycheck, which, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful for. But if you don't have a social life or fun stuff going on at all, I mean, it doesn't always mean the most. I mean, I used to think that rich people were always automatically happy. Everything celebrities were when I was younger. You get older and you realize that is the biggest load of crap ever. Some of the most miserable people in the world are millionaires and celebrities. Don't ever think money, I mean, money can help get you stuff to have fun, yes, but money just itself is not going to make you automatically this super happy, ultimate, just instant cure of depression, anxiety, and happiness. Not at all. I mean, yes, it's good to live comfortable and have money to do some fun stuff, but at the same time, if you are just making money and you have no friends to hang out with or no people to enjoy, I'm not saying you got to spend your money on them, to say, or like, we're not saying to always be cheap and like never buy people anything, but don't, or if you don't have people to hang out with and use that money, have fun times with, is more I'm trying to say. I mean, you're still going to feel kind of bad. I had days I just wake up feeling pretty depressed because I haven't seen my friends. I mean, it was hard for a while, especially because I went to school from 3.5 in preschool to just before I turned 19. So 16 years of my life, really, 15.5 to 16.5, I guess, somewhere in there. So it was a pretty big, like, change for me. And I'm a very social person, too. I'm very talkative and outgoing, so that's why I didn't really like my first job as much after I graduated, was because it just wasn't really ever around people much. I just was kind of in the back cleaning stuff, and I do much better from around people. I get more energized, and it's easier for me to focus versus just being by myself, like, ugh. And that's not everyone at all. There's a lot of people who like working alone or in a quiet area or smaller groups. It just isn't me necessarily. Well, smaller groups wouldn't be awful, but definitely not by myself. Oh. Also, make sure this is still recording. I got a new phone about a month ago because I had my old one for like 3.5 years and it was getting on the fritz. So I just gotta make sure this camera is still recording. But yeah, back to the video. But yeah, I would say that you don't want to rush growing up or wish that your childhood's over. You don't ever want to think that money is just this instant cure to happiness. You want to balance a social life and a job life, So I'll be honest, it's been a bit difficult for me working because I work 5 days a week and I'm really tired on the days I'm off. Especially when I first started, because I was not used to working that much. Like, I never had my whole life worked that much. And so it just is like, ugh. Just like, ugh, like on my days off. Not as much now. I'm still tired, but first month or two, it was pretty rough on my days off. I just was so exhausted. What else was I just about to say? There's a lot of it too. I'm not going to say necessarily the restaurant I'm at for privacy reasons, but seeing people at a restaurant isn't like this easy thing that people make it out to be. And like working in restaurants in general is not this like easy thing. I have told people before, McDonald's is still the hardest job I've ever worked in my life, and I've been at 4 different places. It is not just this easy, like, wee kind of thing. Not at all. I mean, people think that, but when you get into there, it is not at all. Excuse me. But I've been a host at a restaurant, and I have had people cuss me out. I had someone say the F word at me. I've been called a white supremacist twice. I have been yelled at least a dozen times by customers, even if it wasn't necessarily anything I did. I never did anything myself to make a customer mad. It just was, we have like people, because it's no surprise, or at least for the American viewers, I don't know what it is in other countries completely, but in the US there's a massive labor shortage right now, especially in service industries like restaurants, hotels, like amusement, thrill park kind of places, entertainment centers, kind of stuff like that. And there's labor shortage in other spots too, but that's where there's a really big shortage. And we've had days where we have 1 or 2 servers, and we have people come in, and there's tables open, yes, but both the servers have like 5 or 6 tables each, which you usually don't want to give more than 4, so they're already working past what they should have. And they get mad because we can't seat them because we have 1 or 2 servers on. Most people are understanding and get it, which is awesome. But that 2-3% just can ruin it for you, especially when you just get screamed at, yelled at, sworn at, called names. It's just, I have a pretty thick skin, and it takes a lot to get me mad. It honestly is the most draining thing is having to keep everything in without wanting to like explode. I don't think people realize, well, I think some of you probably do, but people have like anxiety or like some anger troubles, which I don't really get mad ever at like people individually. It's more so just stuff builds up one after the other rather than just one incident. But I just am like, I'm very good at controlling myself, but man, I just get tired after some of those days because it's just so mentally exhausting. There have been times I thought a fight was about to break out because one of the servers got surrounded by some people because they were complaining about the food and service and everything. And they were like circling him. I've seen people literally rip money in half at tables and pay with ripped money, which is technically legal to do. It is just, someone took a roll of toilet paper out and used it as napkins and threw it all over the booth and didn't even leave a tip at all on a $72 bill, which you should always leave a tip here in the US, but especially on that was just like, what the fuck? It's crazy. Most people are completely fine, but it's just, there's that 2-3% of just people that are just wild and just nuts or extremely rude. That just, it can ruin your day. It really can. It's just really exhausting. So I guess if you guys go to a restaurant, And you see these open tables, there's a reason they can't seat you. It's not because they're lazy, it's because they don't have workers. But overall, I like where I'm at now. Most people are fine. I like socializing with customers, and I have good coworkers and bosses. I'm kind of just saving up money right now. I think I have like, I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just telling you from what I've saved. I have 2,600 in savings right now, which I'm trying to save up because some of you know this, but I'm moving out of state in a couple of years. So I'm trying to get some money saved up for that. And there isn't really much I really want to buy either way. But that's kind of what I'm just doing now, saving up for when I leave in a couple of years. But yeah, that's just kind of what I've been up to lately. Also, I must say that this apartments and houses are insanely expensive. I mean, I know it's always, I mean, it's not necessarily cheap, but it's really tough to afford apartments and houses these past few years. I mean, it is, like, I've seen articles about how it's very difficult for, like, Gen Z millennials to afford house apartments. And I'm not saying this because I'm not even saying that they're lazy or anything, but I mean, it is true. I mean, houses are nuts these days. Apartments are expensive now. I mean, where I live in Grand Rapids, I was looking at my old house on like one of the realtor websites. My parents bought the house like 23 years ago for like $89,000, $85,000. And the estimate now for it was like $227,000. It just was like, holy shit. I mean, stuff is just insane now, how much it is. I mean, it's really difficult to afford to live on your own. I mean, I was reading somewhere that the average age that Americans moving out of their parents' houses now is like 26 or 27. I mean, it's just, yeah, some of it is probably towards laziness in this generation, but I mean, it is expensive. I mean, I look at some of these websites, and it's just pricey stuff, especially with the inflation we have the past couple of years. I mean, it is just, stuff just keeps going up, 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 up. And just everything's getting really expensive. But, yeah, I mean, I guess that's just kind of what I've been up to lately. Try to keep you guys up to date with my life more. And yes, I still am working out. Oh, that's one thing. I got a gym membership because a Planet Fitness just opened up by my house like a month ago. And it's only $10 a month. So I'm going there a couple times a week. Which is a nice place. Especially because all the equipment's brand new. So it's all in still really top-notch condition. Some of those gyms, they don't ever replace the stuff, and the leather's just torn to shreds. The padding's just flattened. The floors are nasty. The walls are just like old and just like brown tint looking. But this is a nice place. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is what I've been up to lately. Once again, thank you all very much for watching this video. I'll try to update videos more often, at least once a month. Remember, you can always hop over to the Twitch channel to watch me stream, which I know I've been the most active lately, but I stream at least 3 times a month usually. I try to do at least once a week. But yeah, that's just what I've been up to, guys, lately. Thank you all very much for watching this video. I hope the camera quality was okay. I got a new phone a month ago. That's one more thing I'll say. It's just some of those phones now are just insane. Like, there were phones I saw for $1,200, $1,300. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, my gaming computer was like that much, and that's a game PC that you can do top-notch gaming on, and there's these phones that cost $1,200, $1,300. It's like, there's no way in hell I'm spending that on a phone. I just bought, because my family had always done like the payments for phones. Like you get the phone, not like for the service, but for the phone itself, like how you have car payments or house payments. But I just outright bought this phone for like $265, and it's worked great since. But yeah, that's new for this, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.